Hello, everybody. How are you today? Say hello, ladies. Woo!
Hello, everybody. Woohoo!
We are so excited to be here with you today. This week has been, this past week has been such an incredible experience for the She Rises Studios team, as well as all these amazing co-authors. So we are doing a book launch party today. We want to celebrate with all of you, but in celebrating, the best way to do that is to show up and give value and serve and help you, because our topic today is Unleash the Female Entrepreneur Within You. And what better topic, what better way for us to come and serve in this with you ladies from these incredible women that are sitting on the screen looking at you right now with their beautiful smiling faces. So before we dive in, I want to introduce myself. Hello, I am Nicole Curtis. I'm the COO of She Rises Studios. Hannah and Adriana are the co-founder and CEOs of She Rises Studios. And we are so excited to be able to launch in the world the book, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman Entrepreneur, with 23 other amazing powerhouse industry leading women who didn't just share their story, but they share tips and strategies and methods in regards to their entrepreneurial journey, what they do, what have they overcome, how have they overcome it, how have they faced their fears, how have they said yes to them and given themselves the permission to do what they want to do to become an unstoppable woman entrepreneur. And we launched the book. We launched the book last week on Amazon, and it's already hit top 100 lists on Amazon. It hit bestseller as well as hot new release status in 3 countries, the United States, Canada, and UK, and 18 bestseller categories. And we're just blown away. And I think, I can't speak for these ladies, but I'll just quick share a little bit on how I'm feeling about that. It's not just being able to say that we're co-authors in a best-selling book, international bestseller book, but it's amazing and it's a beautiful thing to be part of a project and collaborate together as powerhouse industry leading women to serve women globally in the entrepreneurial space. And so this book, it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur yet, if you've been thinking about it, if you have that inner calling that's going on right here in your heart and in your soul, that's speaking to you, that's crying out to you, this book is for you. If you are an entrepreneur, just recently dove in, you've been at it a little bit, and now you're feeling stuck or uncertain, and this fear and this doubt is starting to come in, this book is for you. If you've been on your entrepreneurial journey for a while, if you're a veteran in it, and you want to get to that next level and you want to power up, this book is for you. And it is taking the world by storm, which has also created the Becoming an Unstoppable Woman movement of women, not just here on the screen, but internationally, that are coming together to inspire, empower, motivate, serve, love, honor, respect women around this world. And it's such an incredible experience. So I'm going to actually pass the mic, because I'd much rather have all of you beautiful ladies that are joining us tonight to hear from these incredible co-authors that hasn't just shared their stories and their tips and strategies in this book, but they're here to serve and honor and love on you, to help you unleash your female entrepreneur within. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic to Heather.
What is it? The past few times I get picked on first.
I'll try not to do it next time.
Okay. All right. So I just got handed this topic because I've been today has been, like you said, past week has been, I had a lot of others, just like all of us, it's like we have all this going on and then there's all this going on, right?
Yeah.
And then side swipes.
Totally get it. And what better topic of unleashing the inner female entrepreneur when everything's going around you and
Yeah, today was a true Monday, that's for sure. A true Monday. But that's good. That's okay. That's kind of our topic. So And I like how you said it doesn't matter with this book if you are just starting out. Like, this isn't just a beginner book. You know, it's not a middle of the road book. It might just be a get inspired again book. But I know this morning I couldn't jump on. Jennifer, another author, was having a live, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry I can't get on because I told her I would. But she had the topic up too about, you know, like just tips and tricks, you know, like what can we offer you, people as viewers, as readers. And, you know, I kind of typed in 2 tips later when I had a chance to go on to her site and just kind of add value. And so what I kind of tell people, even when I work in the financial world, is that no matter what goal you're trying to conquer, if it seems like a big, huge, unattainable goal, you're just always going to have excuses why you can't do it because it just seems so unbelievable that that's supposed to be your future, right? So if you just make a minor commitment, if you just say, commit to 10 to 15 minutes every day, in the morning, at night, whenever it works in your schedule, to just sit down and even do research. Just research what it means to open that business, research what it means to write that book, research what it means to get that degree, whatever it is you're going after. Because if you just commit to even 10 to 15 minutes, all of a sudden you'll start to see that you have more motivation going towards that goal. You're starting to accomplish little goals and they start to add up, and you want to do more. By nature, you will start to do more. And then if you're already in the middle of it, your powerhouse, you're like, oh, I've already got this all going on, but I just don't know how to schedule my time. Like, I just find myself with a million things coming at me. So I tell them, do power hours. This is what works for me is I like block out times, and it could be 1 hour, it could be 3 hours, depending on what it needs to be. But those are the hours that I commit to myself. That has to be. And I have to communicate that to my entire family because I homeschool. So it's like, this hour, mom is doing this. Don't come knock on my door. Making that space and making that commitment, not just to yourself, but to everyone, and really working through that. And sometimes you'll be like, okay, I've got 2 hours set aside today and I'm working on this. And then something happens, you get a client that cancels. It doesn't matter. Stay with those 2 hours. Find something else creative within that niche of what you were going to be working on. That is your power time. If you give it up, you won't get it back. So those are my 2 things. Whether you're starting out and it seems unattainable, just take little bits of time and accomplish little accomplishments, and they will start to roll into big ones. And then if you're already in the middle of it and you think, gosh, I'm doing something wrong, really commit to yourself and make yourself accountable by telling your family. Because also, if you've said, here's my schedule, and they notice you're sitting on the couch, like watching TV or on your phone or something, watching YouTube, they might be like, hey, mom, I thought you were supposed to be doing this. So that accountability can be right there in front of you if you literally just post, this is what I need to do, and have to be accountable to something else. And so I tell people to find your buddies or find your tribe. If maybe you're single and you don't have kids yet to ride you or a husband to nag you, find your tribe, you know, to have a friend that you just, you know, call up and be like, hey, I'm accomplishing this goal. This is what I need to do. I need to do at least however many hours or however many minutes a week doing this. Can you just check in on me? Right? Because having that accountability for someone to have to answer to someone definitely helps. Because I know even now, you know, I have a business and I have 3 businesses and I have this book going, but I force myself into situations. People are like, why do you sign up for so much? I'm like, because if I don't, I'll just hide in the corner and say I've got so much to do and I can't accomplish it. But if I make myself accountable to someone else by offering or signing up to do something, then I've kind of forced that I have to do that. It takes some of those excuses away. So those are just my inputs and thoughts. I'm sure Alice
Love it, Heather. Love it.
stuff.
You're so awesome and so knowledgeable. So, if any of you women that are joining, if you need financial support and help, Heather is your gal. All of these women on the screen before you are perfectly and wonderfully and beautifully made in every single niche, every single industry that they serve, teach, and support in. And so, feel free to reach out to any of these ladies for any type of services or products that you may feel aligned with or that you feel that you need help with, because again, it is the collaboration over competition and we're here to help and serve you. So Heather, Thank you, darling, so much for all of that info. You are amazing. I'm going to pick next. Olivia, would you come on stage, darling, and share how you can help a woman that's on and listening today to unleash the female entrepreneur within her?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I'll try.
You're awesome.
Well, so I wanted to kind of share a little bit of a story between when I first started my business and decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I still had my regular 9-to-5 job, and it was a very, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. It was a male dominated industry. So I worked with a lot of men, and I had to deal with a lot of chauvinism, sexism, ageism, all sorts of fun stuff. And I was very much discounted as a marketing expert. They would hear my advice. I'd present an idea, say, hey, I think we need to do this. And it kind of be almost the equivalent of a pat on the head and, okay, good job, Olivia. But then they never listened to it until one of the other guys would present the same thing like the next day. And then suddenly it became a really amazing idea suddenly, and they had to do it. And kind of contrasting that, though, to how it was as an entrepreneur in my business, where I am a marketing coach. So I was helping moms with their marketing and working with these amazing women who were turning around and valuing what I was saying. They were appreciating it. They found worth in it. And that was one of the key turning points for me in saying, like, yes, I am in the right place. This is what I'm meant to do, because I wasn't being brought down continually, day in and day out. Actually, the other day, I had 3 different men within the time span of a month tell me that I'm really bossy. And I said, yes, I am. Thank you. But then all the women I work with, and I don't mean to turn this into such a sexist issue, but a lot of the women I work with will say things like, wow, I really love how you're setting your boundaries and sticking to that. I love how you're going after that and doing it. I love how you're setting your goals and achieving it. How do you do that? And there's just this huge, huge difference, this huge dichotomy between being in that corporate run world and being out there pursuing your own passions, doing something you love to do, doing something you feel like you're meant to do. And as Heather said, surrounding yourself with your tribe, the people who are there to help inspire you and support you, and that you aspire to be more like. So if I have one bit of advice for unleashing your inner female entrepreneur, it would be to think of how you want to feel on a day by day basis, and then go ahead and feel that. Find what it takes to feel that. And if that is supported and valued and loved, then find what that means to you. So.
Love it. You're so awesome, Olivia.
I'm bossy.
Woo! Yep, bossy. I wish I could play that song right now, but I can't. No, I love it. I had very similar situations when I was in the corporate world. So I totally can relate to what you're saying and what I've experienced. And I don't think it's just us. I think many women experience that in corporate, especially when it's more man-owned than it is women-owned. And yes, for She Rises Studios and all of us women in the Becoming Unstoppable Woman movement, it's all about collaboration over competition. In the workforce, sometimes, and just from what I experience, is it's so much more competition than it is collaboration around all sexes, not just women and women and men or men and women. It's all around. And that was one of the things that absolutely, to be all honest, I used to be that competitive girl. I used to want to be the top dog, the best sales, the best at everything. And as I was in my career, I kind of took that step back, Olivia, kind of like what you did, and like, no, like it's not supposed to go this way. So thank you so much for sharing, darling. I love your energy. I love your passion. I love what you do, and keep saving and changing lives. So way to go, hon. If you actually want to pass it to pick on somebody and pass it, that would be great.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'm going to go ahead and pick on Allison right now.
Thank you very much. You're so bossy. Look at you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. What I want to say to you today, if you're watching us live or watching on a replay, get closer. Look at each and every one of us and take us in, because this could be you. And I want you to think of what unleashes you. What makes you the perfect you? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? You got the guts. You got the stamina. You definitely would have the support and the love from all of us that Nicole talked about, because we are all here to help the women of the world find out where their niche is. Not just what niche you work with, but where do you fit in? Where do you want to fit in? Where do you feel amazing? Like Olivia said, feel how you want to feel every day, right? I was in a sales career too. And when I would outperform the guys, it was just a big no-no. But when they outperformed you, oh my goodness, there was parties and beers like no tomorrow. So it's that kind of world. But I want you to think unapologetically about who you are, because you being you right now and looking forward to your future in a bigger, brighter way, because you have an impact. You have a voice that needs to be heard. You have knowledge and experience that needs to be shared. And together we can all make this better. And this book is amazing. You have tips and tricks and stories and a whole number of things that if it wants to inspire you to be motivated to take that next step, then I can't wait for you to grab a copy of this book and share it with all the women in your lives. And if you have a guy who you think needs to know a little more about women entrepreneurs, please share it. I think that would be an amazing gift over a birthday or a surprise stocking stuffer. So these are the type of things that I think a lot of the women I coach are looking to see how they can now bring themselves into their lives with their relationships with everybody else and say, okay, well, if I'm an entrepreneur and I make that huge shift, what's going to happen to my family, my kids, my hubby? I said, bring them all in, right? Make sure they are up to speed. Like Heather said, make sure that they know what your calendar looks like, because then you can close the door and they won't bother you and say, look, this is my power hour. This is what I have to give. Mommy's got to do this. I'll be there in a minute. Like, go talk to daddy or go ask your older brother, right? So there's times where you can set those boundaries, but be who you need to be and be who you need to be now. Because the more you wait, a friend of mine asked me the other day, how old are you? Because she thought I was 43, because I just finished my degree. I said, I'm 57 years old. And I never ever thought that at this point, 3 years before my 60th birthday, that I'd be getting my degree and still moving forward. So you can do this at any time, because I'm not the oldest one in the crew. So I'm inspired by other women too, who are older than I am, still doing it and out there and rocking the stages and getting their voice heard and writing books and collaborating with all of us. So you too can do that. And I wish that for you. So stand up. And if you need somebody to help you out, knock on one of our doors and would be definitely helpful. And we'll be right there to support you. Loving on you every step of the way. Thank you. And I call on Priya.
Thank you. That was awesome. I can't even believe that that's your age. I would never have guessed. You look amazing. All the women in this group have an amazingly youthful energy. I think it's the vibrance that carries through each of us. So let's see here. So I think that one of the things I would impart on the women that come in contact with us and women who are considering or on any stage of their entrepreneurial career is to prepare to succeed. Because one of the things that I see a lot of entrepreneurs go through is they're very cautious about what to do if they fail and how to pick themselves up, but they don't prepare for success. And a lot of times they are succeeding and then they're like, now what do I do? Oh no, right? And they're not sure how to either scale or where they head on to next. So a lot of the times that's a bigger issue that I see people having than failure. Because when you take these risks, you usually have that passion behind you. You've got your heart into it. So, you're attracting from that vibration and people are coming your way. And we just don't prepare for the success sometimes. And that involves a lot of different things. I've noticed even through my own career, having to move out of different circles that I traveled in networking. I've outgrown a group, or I've changed my vision as to where I'm headed and what I need, what types of relationships I need as I move through different phases and stages. So I would say, definitely prepare yourself for success. Know what you're going to do when you, not if you, when you reach that level. Know what you're going to do when you get there, and don't get caught with your skirt down and not prepared on what to do, right? And the other thing I would say is, one of the key things: listen, and then listen some more, because there's so much that you can receive from a group like this and other, just even the She Rises community, not just us authors, but there's so much that you can receive. And even when you're networking with people, potential clients, listen. So oftentimes we're so nervous thinking about what we're trying to get across and how we can let them know how we can help them. And we're just trying to right at them, that we don't actually take that time to let them tell us how we can help them. We know we can, but let them direct you, let people direct you to how you can be of service, how you can share your gift, how you can help their life improve. I think that has really been a big one for me to help as well. And also just being in a confident space of overcoming that feeling like you're trying to push something on someone that they don't want. Trust me, from being in years and years of doing psychic readings and coaching sessions, people want help and they want to be better. They want to evolve. They want to thrive, and they're looking for guidance. So somebody said to me a really long time ago, and it's a line that I hate because I'm only 5'2", but which is, don't play small. And I was like, I'm not playing, I am small. But anyways, it's more so from recognizing that, what really got me was, there are people out there, we each have a purpose on this planet, in this universe. And if you don't access and really fulfill the mission of your purpose, there's a lot of people out there that are missing a piece of their puzzle that would have been so much easier to put together had you shown up and delivered what you had the strength, the power, and the wisdom to deliver. So show up, because there's a lot of people counting on you.
You're awesome, Priya. Thanks so much for sharing all that nuggets. I love this. I love getting together and collaborating and just sharing from the heart and speaking our truth and our message of how, as coaches, entrepreneurs, whatever niche industry that we're in, of just ways where we can help women show up, how we can help them unleash the female entrepreneur within them. And so it's absolutely beautiful. I appreciate all of you being here. I really, really do. Roxana, you're up, girlfriend.
Hi, how are you? Ladies, how are you today?
Hi, darling. How are you?
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Perfect. So I have to say that I agree with Priya and all the ladies, but especially what Priya just said about being prepared. I think that's very important, because sometimes we have opportunities in front of us, and because we're not prepared, then nothing happens. And we really need to be prepared, because opportunities, you never know when they're coming. So that's very important. And similar to that, I say that, let's say you're to a meeting, I advise you to be prepared as well. So when you go to a meeting, you need to be ready for those tough answers, right? Questions that you're not expecting. You think about everything that might come, and especially you're the only female in the room. They will ask you tough questions to make you, look bad. So be ready for those. Be ready to have a smile when that happens instead of getting mad. No, the opposite. Because those things happens frequently, when people try to put you down or make you feel that you don't know what you're doing. So it's very important that we educate ourselves and we go prepare, prior our meetings. I won't tell you to be on time because I'm never on time, right? I'm still working on it, but I'm always ready and prepared. Especially if I know in that meeting I'm gonna have, individuals that have been in business for over 10, 15, 20 years. I guarantee you that I'll be the one that knows all the data, everything up, I have all the updates. So I'm ready for every single question. And if they still make you feel bad, what I'll do with that is that actually that we think that those are that's our weakness, right? And what I do, I try to take every item from my weakness list to my strength, meaning that sometimes people underestimate you. So they say, let's say in my case when I started, oh, she just got here to the United States, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Whatever it is, you know what, that's good, because they're misunderestimating you. And what's happening is that if you're really educated, you know what you're doing, they won't pay attention to you. And at the time they pay attention to you, they will have to ask you, hi, can you help me? Because you're gonna be on the top and it's gonna be too late for them. Because they were not expecting that. So that's actually a good thing, at least in my opinion. It has worked perfectly. At first, I was crying and I felt bad, but now that's awesome for me. If I go into a room and people don't even look at me, that's even better because they're not on top of me. They're not looking what I'm doing. And at the time they look what I'm doing, it's already too late. I'm already here. So that's what we need to do because often, especially we're ladies, even if we don't want to recognize it, we are different. Our hormones work differently. We're more sensitive normally. And that's a fact. All right. That's by nature, we're like that. And as we go through life, we get to be more tough or whatever it is, or we have to. But that doesn't mean that sometimes we can be sensible, right? And that's something that we need to be real. And it happens like that for whatever reason. And I don't cry anymore, but don't get me wrong. Sometimes I feel really bad. Now I know how to hide it better than before because of my experience and what I've gone through. But I still feel, sometimes sad when something says something bad, but it doesn't affect me like before. And now I know how to take that and transfer that to a good thing, to things that will make me feel like, you know what, you need to do better than that. And instead of trying to tell people or, oh, that person is not person, whatever comment they made was not appropriate. No, I always put that onto myself. Like, you know what, you have to be more prepared for next time. You know what to say instead of trying to make comments about others. No, make that your responsibility. You need to be better. And even though I agree, and I love collaboration versus competition, I believe that we still need to be competitive, not with anybody, but with ourselves. Because if not, it's really hard to move forward. If you're not competitive, you get here and then you don't want anything else. And things change constantly. In every market, it doesn't matter if it's technology or healthcare, you name it, you need to stay competitive and you need to stay updated. And like I say, we are unique. right? So it's not that we are in competition with anybody, because some clients I have and people that ask me about businesses, I always tell them, you can call here, you can go to this website, this is the way I do it. And they tell me, oh my God, you're telling me everything, you're not afraid that I go and do it myself. I'm saying, no, I'm not, because the more information I give you, the more you know how hard I have to work to make it happen. So I guarantee you that the more information I give you, you're going to ask me to help you, right? That's one. And secondly, it doesn't matter if you copy what I'm doing. We're two different individuals. We approach our employees or people working with us differently. So the results will never be the same. That's why I don't believe that we're really competing, because it's a different approach, different ways to do things. You will never get the same, at the end, it will never be the same product. So that's why I tell everybody, like I said, stay competitive, but with yourself. And like Priya and all the ladies has been saying, like, listen. It's very important to listen. Sometimes people are trying to tell us something and we don't even allow them to finish the sentence. So it's very important that we listen to others, especially if they're successful, especially even if they're not successful, if they went through that already, that will save you time if you don't go through the same thing, the same process. That's very important. And like I said, education for me is key. I try to read. It doesn't have to be a school per se. If you don't have the time, get a book. But you need to find good resources. So just don't go to Facebook or Twitter, try to copy and paste what others are saying. Just get a book and read. That's very important. And at the end, it doesn't really matter where you're getting the information from, and if it's from a good source, you will learn if you read about it. Try to ask questions to people with experiences and in this area, and try to volunteer. I do that a lot. So when I don't know something, I try to call businesses or partners and say, can I volunteer with you? Can I be with you for a day or two? You don't have to pay me. And that's how I learned too, because I love to be hands-on. And in order to understand, let's say if you want to have entrepreneurship, it comes in different ways, and sometimes we have to have employees. So in order for me as a manager or a supervisor, whatever you want to call it, if I'm going to tell you, I need you to do this in 5 minutes, I would like to know if that can be done in 5 minutes. Because often we hear managers and CEOs telling you, I want you to do this in 10 minutes, when everybody's looking at that person and from the inside, like, whatever, because how he doesn't know that that's impossible, right? So and no one says anything about it. No one says, this cannot be done in 10 minutes. People tend to just hold it and try to do it, and then they fail at the end. But as a manager or leader, you need to know how things work in order to be able to lead your team. And that's why I try to learn a little bit about everything my employees have to do in my business in order for the business to succeed. Because that way I can guide them better, and I will ask them questions that they make sense. I will tell them, give them the time for them to be successful on what they're doing. So that's for me one of the things that are very important in order for to be successful in life in general.
Awesome. Thank you, Roxana. You're amazing. Loved all of the information that you shared. Appreciate you so much, hon. I guess I'll share a little bit on my end before we wrap up. And after I kind of talk a little bit, I'll see if you ladies have any, added comments or thoughts that came up before we wrap up. But unleashing the female entrepreneur within you, there's so many things that I can go into, and I'm sure all of you ladies here too were like, how do I just pick one thing to talk about? You know, for me, I think the biggest tip, the biggest nugget, the biggest aha, I guess, that I can share with you is just my own personal experience as an entrepreneur, is that I gave myself permission to, and I said yes. I said yes to me. I said yes to doing things my way. I said yes to structuring my life, a company, all of that in a way that felt aligned with me, not just in my mind and in my heart, but in my soul. And it's just that purpose-driven, mission-based company. She Rises Studios is here to serve and educate and celebrate women, to uplift them, to be here, rather wherever you are in life. If that's in your career, in your family, within yourself, in your business. And I guess that's the biggest tip I can say, is to just say yes to being you. It's actually my title of my chapter in the book, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman Entrepreneur. Because I remember living a life for so long of just doing what everybody else wanted me to do, just being who everybody else wanted me to be. And I wore so many different masks that I was a different person all the time, but yet in here was still the same. But I felt like I had to be somebody else no matter what environment and situation I was, because I was supposed to be, you know, this young, successful corporate woman. And I got lost and depressed and completely broken. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where I was going. I just got so lost within myself. And I think from experiencing that as long as I did, when I finally said yes to me is when I left my corporate job and I went online and became an entrepreneur, because my dreams and my goals and my desires, as well as the feeling and the inner voice, the inner girl that was screaming at me, telling me that I was worth so much more, and I had so much more to give than what I was currently doing, that was what drove me. It was also all of this anger and this rage inside of me of knowing that I was meant for more, but I was actually capping myself. I used that energy and flipped it into positive energy and momentum to help me go from where I was to where I wanted to be, because I didn't want that life anymore. I didn't want to be that woman anymore. And so I challenge you, and I want to help and serve you to unleash the female entrepreneur within you, is say yes to you. Give yourself the permission. Don't wait for it. Don't wait to be granted it. Don't wait to be told that you can do it, but you can only do it like this. No. Say yes to being you, to all of you, your quirks, your talents, your abilities, who you are, the energy, the vibe that you have. It's all beautiful, and it's meant to shine, and it's meant to sparkle, and it's meant to be purposeful in this world. And so don't cap yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't feed into the fear and the doubt. Don't listen to the naysayers or the people that don't believe in you or care. And this community here, these women on the screen, are here to help and serve and inspire you to do just that. The She Rises Studios community, which you're in, ladies, this community is for you to serve, to help you, to network, to collaborate, to build your business. And we're so blessed and honored and excited that you are here. And to all you ladies here, I love you, you amazing women. And it's just I am enjoying every step in this journey. With the book that it released last Tuesday, it's just gone above and beyond. It's just been an amazing experience, incredible journey to be part of it with you, because all of us together are changing the world in one way, shape, or form. There's women that are picking this up, that are using this book as a handbook and a guide and a tool and an asset in their life. And it's not just writing a chapter just to write a chapter, not just to get your brand or your business or your visibility or, increase your profits. It's bigger than that. And that's what I absolutely love about all of your hearts. You're here to serve and you're here to support and help. And Hannah, Adriana, and I couldn't be more blessed to have you women collaborate in this project, to be in this project together, to be serving in the world together, to changing lives, helping women unleash the female entrepreneur within them. So before we wrap up, do any of you ladies have any comments, thoughts, anything that comes to mind? Feel free to just go ahead and share for a few minutes.
I have one piece of advice that a very successful realtor agent who was very put together told me once, because I was having a crazy Monday. And she said, then I want you to just sprinkle some fairy dust and sparkle because it's your Monday. And I looked at her and my jaw hit the floor because she's this perfectly put together person on the outside. So we all have craziness. So sparkle throw that fairy dust on you and sparkle wherever you're at because we love you.
Oh, I love that, Allison. Oh, that just warmed my heart. Any of you other ladies have anything else you'd like to share or comment or speak on before we wrap up? Here I'm hitting the whoa. My son was watching me right now. He'd be like, what are you doing, Mom? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for you ladies that are here tonight. If you're catching the replay, we love you. We're here for you. Reach out to any of these incredible women. She Rises Studios is also here to help serve, honor, celebrate you as well. So feel free to slide into our DMs. We're here for you, as well as to help in promotional opportunities or collaborative opportunities. We have more books coming out in this series. We'd love to interview you, see if you would love to be part of what we're doing here and our mission, as well as helping your business be seen and heard worldwide. So with that, I appreciate all of you beautiful ladies. Thank you so much for being here. And I will drop the link as well. You can get your Becoming an Unstoppable Woman Entrepreneur ebook on Amazon right now for $2.99. Tomorrow is when the paperback goes live. And we kick off our New York Times bestseller campaign. And thanks so much for all of your support and love. We appreciate you and have a wonderful and amazing evening. Bye.
Bye, everyone.